This podcast is brought to you by the one and only JList.com. Well, right now on JList, they have all new magazines for you. For those of you that are just fiending for some Japanese magazines, they've got brand new Comic Yuri Hime from August 2018, Cosplay Mode for those of you that love your cosplay from the July 2018. They also have New Type from July 2018 and Megami Magazine from July 2018. And I'm telling you, at least 20 or more magazines on there that I just didn't recognize a lot of them, but hopefully some of you will. Go to JList.com and you can get your anime magazine fix and so much more. And now it's time to start the podcast.
みんな、アニメアディクツアノニマスのライブブロードキャスト聞かないと泣いちゃうよ。You are listening to the Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast. Make your anime addiction worse at AAAPodcast.com. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Hello, you beautiful people out there. It's a wonderful day in St. Petersburg, Florida, where we're broadcasting live with bringing you the 427th episode of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. We're not only old, we are ancient. And this podcast is also brought to you by AnimeBoyButt.com, where you can get yourself creams and lotions to bring out the best anime boy butt that you can be. And joining us, we also have the wonderful and beautiful Mandy. How art thou?
Hello, I'm doing okay. Doing all right. We had an E3 discussion.
We just did. And thank you for that. If you would like to get all of our extra exclusive content, which Mandy just helped me transition into, we just talked about all of the happenings from E3 on our recent Hobby Addicts, so you'll probably want to head over to our website, AAAPodcast.com/join, where you can get your hands on now 115 episodes of Hobby Addicts, to go with the 100 plus hentai episodes and probably 250 after parties. So there's all of that stuff going on for you. And of course on the website you can also find links to our Discord, which is I think over 600 people now. So it's really, there's a lot of people on there. A lot of people getting to know each other. Mm-hmm. Have you done any fun watch parties or anything on there lately, Mandy?
Let me see. We watched a new movie recently. It was shoot, I forgot the name of it now.
Uh-oh.
It just came out though. What was it? Oh shoot.
It happens to me too.
Asago to Kase-san is what we watched.
And was it good?
And it was really cute.
Oh, good. It was
a shoujo-ai romance.
And I'm sure you've been doing your manga, your book clubs and stuff on there as well, reading your manga.
Yep, every other Wednesday.
I'll tell you right now.
This Wednesday we're doing Vagabond. Sorry.
Vagabond, which you talked about on the podcast and maybe last week I think it was.
I did.
So I bought the Uzumaki book from Junji Ito and have read.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yep, and I have read the first 4 chapters of it, and it is mind blowing.
How you liking it? Is it good?
It's mind blowing. Yeah, there is. There's nothing in the Junji Ito anime that matches the first story from the Junji Ito book, Uzumaki.
Yep. Nothing.
The spiral...
I'm happy I brought you to my side.
The story spiral... now, the Junji Ito anime, I really enjoyed it. I truly did. But that spiral story was just... I don't know how he comes up with this shit. And it was so well told. For those of you that want to get a lot of bang for your buck, you can buy a 1,000-page anthology for $18 freaking off Amazon from this guy.
And it's a nice hardback book too.
It's unbelievable. It should cost $40. It costs $18. I mean, it's crazy. So, one more quick thing before we start. I talked to Kazuo today just to see where he was, and he has again told me that he is indeed not leaving the podcast. So all of you that have been messaging me and freaking out about Kazuo. Your boy Kazuo is going nowhere, so he just has a lot of stuff going on, so he will be back pretty soon. So hang in there and please be patient. But I just wanted to be transparent with everybody.
And Enzo also is not leaving. He's just working.
Oh, Enzo is, yes, the poor man.
Poor boy.
Hopefully they're buying him a pizza.
Hopefully, he's gonna be making enough money to buy pizza. So.
Yeah, well, and he's gonna be buying pizza for all of us pretty soon. So, Mandy, I'm really excited.
Yes.
Because
me too.
Today is summer 2018 anime picks.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for all the excitement. These are my favorite episodes every time when we talk about the new anime that are coming out. So, and nothing excites me more than watching a Rattel and a cheetah girl making out, which was what I experienced in Killing Bites, which we'll talk about also. Oh my.
What an interesting show.
Oh, yes. What can I say about Killing Bites? Except for, I just...
Find out. You just gotta hang in.
I don't have the words.
We'll get to it.
I don't have the words. Okay, so shall we dive right into our jam-freaking packed outline?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
大ニュースです。It's time for big news of the week.
All right, Charapedia always comes out with their list of the most anticipated anime from any season when we have a new season coming. And, well, we have the 2018 season for the summer coming, and we're going to be talking about that today. So Charapedia has ranked all of the top 20 most anticipated anime from summer 2018. Would you like to help me go down the list, Mandy?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, why don't you start us
I'll
off?
let you read number 9 because that one looks impossible. I don't think those are words.
Okay, well then let's just take turns, and you can start at 10.
Sure. Number 10 is Overlord Season 3.
Are you excited for Overlord?
I watched the first season of Overlord, and I thought it was okay, but I never watched the second one, so not really.
Yeah, I mean, I fell behind on Overlord big time, and I probably won't be catching up. But I guess people are interested, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean, Overlord, the first season, it was all right. It was probably one of my favorite kind of stuck in a video game worlds.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It didn't attract me enough to watch the second season.
I know it's very popular. All right, well let's see. Here's the one you were struggling with here.
Number 9.
Good luck.
Muhyo to Roji no. I'm standing really far away from the screen. Muhyo to Roji no Mahoritsu Sodan Jimusho, which is I don't know. So I don't even recognize all those words, so I have no idea what that is. Skip.
It says here, are you a victim of an unwanted spirit possession? It looks like it was based on a manga. It's a shonen mystery. And I actually did not see this on the list. And it's there, I just somehow missed it. And I was like, because when I was looking at the most anticipated ones, I was like, what is this? Somehow I missed it, but...
I have no clue.
I guess the manga must be popular enough that it's people are excited about it. I've never even heard of it.
I haven't heard of a lot of these. So number 8 is another long title.
Oh, I can do it.
Yeah.
100 Sleeping Princes and the Kingdom of Dreams, the animation. This one is like an Otome puzzle game, sort of like Puzzles and Dragons style puzzle games, a match 3, and instead of your team being like the characters in Puzzles and Dragons, it's like just all pretty boys. So I think that one's only in Japan right now. I don't think it ever came to the US or English iOS stores. But yeah, that one seems like people are really excited for it though.
I'm not really sure who's looking forward to this next one.
Number 7.
Fate Extra Last Encore Illustrious Tendo Setsu. More Fate. There's a lot of these now. There's like 8 Fate series.
I feel awful because I never watched the Fate series, and I should probably check into them because they're so popular.
Yeah.
Every time, there's just so much.
There is.
I mean,
you can't feel
every
bad.
time I try to get into it, I'm like, man, there's so many other shows I need to watch.
It's your life.
I'll be watching this forever.
It's your life, Mandy. You can't watch everything. You know. You gotta
That's true.
keep us rolling. I know you're excited for this next one.
Yeah, that's why I
Number
watched the number 10
6.
first. So 6 is Free, Dive to the Future, and I'm excited. More Free. I love
Of course, I should have known. All right.
What anime boy butts?
Yes, they will be dripping slick with water and maybe sweat also. So sexy.
Number
All right.
5.
Angels of Death is number 5. No clue.
Angels of Death. I saw this on the list of the summer anime coming out, but I know nothing about it.
Yeah, I know nothing about it either. Okay, next.
Number 4.
Next is Cells at Work, which I'm really excited for. It looks really cute.
Yeah, Cells at Work is done by David Productions and basically the whole staff of JoJo. So
yeah,
it'll be cool.
The manga recently came out in English too, so I might check that out before it comes out. So cool.
These next 3 aren't that shocking.
Number 3.
Dun, 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 banana fish. Bum, bum, ba-da. Wasn't that the song we used to sing? Yeah.
That was a joke I made.
Oh, I stole your joke. Well,
yeah, that's cool.
It's mine now.
Banana fish. Dun, 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 dun,
Bam,
is
bam.
number 3.
Okay, number 2 is obvious.
Number 2.
You know, the best anime ever.
Yes, it's the number 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10th best anime of all time. So, and probably now the 11th. So, what is it? It needs no introduction.
Yeah. Number 1 is the 3rd season of Attack on Titan.
You didn't say what it was.
What?
Number 2. You skipped it.
That's Sekintama.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. We just talked about it.
Okay, I'm just getting old.
Are you okay?
No.
Do you need a nap?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I need a walker and some and some menthol patches.
It's okay.
Number 1 is Attack on Titan.
Number 1.
Yep, season 3.
Yeah, I'm not really very. Are you excited for Attack on Titan?
See, I like the first season of Attack on Titan, but then I read further in the manga, and now I don't know. I dropped Attack on Titan, so not really.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not excited for it at all.
It gets weird. Attack on Titan gets really weird.
It's not it's becoming something that's not the same as what I fell in love with it for. So,
yeah.
Which was
I might try it out though. Just, see what everyone else is excited about. But yeah.
I started watching Attack on Titan to watch humanity's clinging desperately to survival, and it's becoming like this story where the Titans they're not intimidating at all anymore, and I feel like that's not what the story's about anymore, and that's so whatever. It's whatever. I know a lot of people are still into it, so
yeah, it's still big. So
it's big, kind of like this next news we've got here. Let's move on.
Let's do it.
Prepare for trouble.
Make it double.
Shut up! You haven't had one useful thing to say since you got here.
So Japan has been kicking some butt in the World Cup. They have won a game and they've tied a game, which is putting them in pretty good position to advance out of their group, which they probably no one thought they were not supposed to advance out of the initial group. But they're also kicking ass with the Tokyo Olympic Games in 2020. They have a plan to make everything at these Olympic Games 100% renewable, which is staggering. The 2020 Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic organizations have aimed to fully power the games with renewable energy. All electricity used at the venues will be derived entirely from renewable energy sources, and this includes the athletes' village, where mass amounts of sex will be happening. That energy is also renewable. The International Broadcasting Center and also the main press center, they're going to do this by having power companies installing tons of solar panels in order to generate just mass amounts of electricity.
Oh, nice.
Also, the committee plans to use rental and leasing services so that 99% of the goods procured for the games will be reused or recycled. When purchases are necessary, the committee is planning on drawing up measures beforehand to secure recipients for the items after the games are over. So they're just going to give everything away, I guess. The 99% of all recycling and reuse targets are matching the goals that were set by the London Games. Waste such as plastic bottles and food generated at the venues are going to be fully recycled, set at a goal of 65%, which is the highest that it's ever been for Olympics.
Oh, wow.
So Tokyo is just like, we want to be green.
Yeah. Let's hope that all Americans going over there don't mess it up.
Well, I'm planning on going over. I'm going to be booking my Airbnbs as soon as they get relisted. You know how they had a lot of them taken down. because of law changes. So as soon as all of those get relisted, I will be buying I will be booking my tickets for.
When we went though, I was so surprised by how like every place where there was like a garbage can or a garbage garbage station, they always had recycling, and I thought that was awesome. I'm like, why don't they do that here? That would be amazing. But
because Americans are like,
we hate recycling.
we hate. Oh my god.
Oh shit!
It's like, fuck recycling. It's like we're just some. You can just see this American guy, like a cartoon of an American guy. He's sitting next to like a recycling bin for like aluminum, and he's drinking a Coke, and he just like throws it on the floor. Doesn't it? It's like he
just changed my mind.
He's like, so he like drops it in the recycling bin, and he's like, wait, what am I doing? And he takes it out and just throws it on the ground.
It's probably just my area though. Like at my apartment building, we don't have any option for recycling. Like recycling centers will not even come here to pick up.
I don't either. So it's not you. It's not just you. So
okay.
So yeah, you're good. All right, moving on.
It's time for hot new anime releases.
Okay, I am extremely excited about this. I was laying up late at night this week.
You've been so excited.
Watching Gura Zeni, lamenting that I failed it, thinking to myself, after I watched episodes 11 and 12, which I think are the last two, and they were by far the best two of the season, and I thought to myself, I get that hardly anybody's watching Gura Zeni, because it's just people just don't, it's not what people want from anime right now. But this is one of my favorite anime I've ever seen, I think. That's
awesome.
It is unbelievably charming, and everything in it just makes you feel good. And there is another season of Gura Zeni coming in October, and it's going to be directed by the same guy who directed this season, who is Ayumi Watanabe, who directed Space Brothers, and Hideo Takayashiki, who worked on One Outs, Ride Back, and Kaiji, is going to be doing the series composition, and it's going to be done by Studio Dean. So it's all the same piece, basically all the same people. The studio, the composition, the directing, all the same. And Gura Zeni is getting a second season in October, and I can guarantee you that I will pass it in October, so prepare yourself for that. So I'm really excited. I'm also excited to announce that...
Yeah, I'm excited about this one too.
I bet you are, because the air will be thick with the aroma of anime boy butts.
Just boys. Lots of colors and lots of muscles.
Just muscles and boys and muscles and... Their multicolored hair dye will slick off of their hair and run down the creases of their muscles, creating a panoramic mixture of delights such that I cannot even describe. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5, Golden Wind, is coming in October.
Yeah, I actually haven't read that because I've been waiting for them to get officially translated into English, and they've only stopped at we don't even have Diamond is Unbreakable yet, so we'll see.
I think that, I mean, at this rate, they're just going to do all of JoJo, because they've now covered like half the manga, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is like there's like 9 JoJos, and now they're on part 5. The director is Yasuhiro Kimura, who directed 3 Leaves, 3 Colors. Hideo Takahashi, who worked on Keijo, is going to direct the anime at David Productions. The first episode of the anime is going to be screening at Onyeri Hall in Tokyo and Japan Expo in Paris, France at the same time on July 5th, and later on at Anime Expo on July 7th. So this original manga continues the story from the previous entries of Araki's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure manga. Jotaro asks Koichi to travel to Naples to investigate a person known as Haruno Shiobana, whose real name is later revealed to be Giovanna. The story then follows Giorno in his goal to rise to the top of the Passion Mafia group and turn it into a band of honorable thieves. So, how excited are you for this? JoJo. Yes, but it's JoJo. How excited are you for this?
I'm pretty excited about this.
Are you like vibrating with excitement?
No, I don't know if it's that intense, but I'll definitely watch it. We'll probably have a watch party for this because I think a lot of people are excited. in our Discord.
I will join in on that. I need to catch up on Diamond is Unbreakable, but that will give me a good reason to catch up on Diamond is Unbreakable before that watch party happens. So we did a watch party this week for GTO.
Oh, did you? Nice.
And there were several girls in there, and they all just immediately fell in love with Onizuka and his abs. Because Onizuka is, I mean, he's about as sexy as a character gets, I think. So there was definitely some instantaneous love happening, including from me, and some guys were in there too. We all agreed. Onizuka is like, he's awesome. So listen to me. Listen to me. I'm like a schoolgirl gushing. It's my first crush. All right. Moving on?
Yeah, let's do it.
さーて、お買い物のお時間です。And now, it's time to get the goods from JList.com.
Go!
Haven't done this segment in a little while, but JList sent us another snack box for July 2018, and I got the snack box right here, propped up on like 17 books. Oh, and some candles. I'm standing because I hurt my back and I shouldn't be sitting for long periods of time, so I'm standing, which is unusual. So I have to. I'm lifting the box up on some candles and 2 books. It's a volume of, including a volume of the 12 Kingdoms, which is like 800 pages. So it's very good for elevating.
Oh yeah, man, those books are thick.
They're big. They're big books. So this snack box is pretty big too. It has 16 snacks in it. I'm gonna eat this one right here. It's a shame I don't have anybody else here. Normally I would make Kazuo eat while I talk about the snacks. So I'm just going to like eat this cake and you're going to like talk about JoJo's butt or something. Let me see if this is good. I am tasting, what is this? This is the Lotte Custard Cake Blueberry Cheesecake. Let me see here.
Ooh. What do those taste like?
Oh, it's delightful.
Nice. I'm on a delay, so I can't actually see it yet, but nice.
So it's like a little custard
cake.
cake.
Oh, it kind of looks like a little sponge cake.
Yep. So I have a couple. There's 16 snacks in here. I can't feature all these snacks. It's too much. The snack box also comes with a $5 discount code for anything you want to buy on their website. So it's like they're giving you $5 of the dollars back.
Yeah. There's
a Monster energy drink called Cuba. The flavor is Cuba Libre. Now I don't.
Cuba Libre.
Now I don't know what that is. Cuba Life.
I have no idea.
Here's the can.
I can look it up though.
Yeah, can you please translate Cuba Libre for me? This might be a case of Japan not being able to properly articulate.
Rum and Coke.
Rum and Coke flavored
it's because
Monster.
You and I are not big drinkers. That's why we didn't know it.
I'm so ignorant. It's unbelievable.
Me too. Don't worry about it.
There's a Gudetama candy for those of you ladies and guys out there who like Gudetama. He's basically like, imagine if you cracked an egg and fried the egg sunny side up, and this little character that's basically the egg yolk lays on his like egg whites that look like bedding basically. So he's like a lazy egg, and it's like it's sort of in the same vein as Hello Kitty or Didakuma. It's a character that's made by Sanrio, I think, and the Gudetama candy. I haven't opened it yet, but I'm sure it's probably.
Oh wow, that's actually pretty big.
Yeah.
What kind of candy is it?
I'm squeezing it. It feels like hard candy. So I don't know what the flavor is. Couple more things here.
Is it going to be egg flavored?
Couple more things. Frito-Lay Dragon potato chips. So here's this box.
Ooh, but those are spicy.
It's got a dragon on the front of it, coming out of like this potato chip. I'm gonna open this up. Let me see. Do you think it's spicy?
I don't know. A dragon in the name, I think so.
The actual chips don't look like a dragon, but they're curly. Let me see. Oh, it's delightful.
Oh no, those don't look like they'd be spicy from the cover, but
that's good. Mm-hmm.
What do they taste like?
They taste like potato chips, like rough,
is it
like a standard
soft?
Potato chip? Yeah, it's
crunchy.
It's crunchy. It's good. And then they have the Noble Magic Fruit chewing candy, which I have right here. I've already eaten half of this bag because it's pretty damn good. So they're basically like little chewy fruit flavored candies that are like flavored after various soft drinks. They have grape, orange soda, strawberry soda, and melon soda. So, and I guess if you mix 2 of them together, it makes a secret flavor. If you mix the strawberry and the melon together, it makes a mystery flavor. I don't know. I haven't tried that yet. So
Interesting. They have a lot of really interesting hard candies in Japan.
apparently, if you mix together the grape and the orange, it makes pineapple. If you mix the melon and the strawberry, it makes watermelon flavor. If you mix the strawberry and the orange, it makes apple. And if you mix the melon and the grape together, it makes muscato, which is another type of grape. So amazing. So apparently, if you eat them, I'll have to try that later. But so
Yeah.
I guess that's why it says magic fruit flavored candy. So yeah, so JList.com is probably your go-to place to be getting Japanese snacks. 16 snacks in all, so you can have pretty much enough snacks to cover an entire month of anime viewing before you think about getting your next snack box. So I recommend going over there, and if you want to try out some Japanese candy, I'm definitely going to finish this cake thing over the news break. Head over to JList.com and indulge in some snacks. So that's all. All right, how about the trivia, Mandy? Help me out.
Alrighty, this week's answer, or I'm sorry, our weekly trivia, and you can go find it on our website, AAAPodcast.com. Scroll down, there's a picture there, and there is a theme to it. And from that picture, you guess what you think that anime or what it's from. Last time we did sightseeing, so it was sites around Japan. But this time it's from anime, I think. Yeah. Anime Classrooms is this week's theme.
Yep.
So, and just send it in and you can win fabulous prizes. And this week's answer was Melancholy of Haruki Suzumiya.
Yep.
And this week's winner is Golden Jedi Link.
It was sort of a softball because a couple of the Haruhi Suzumiya characters were actually in the classroom photo. So I picked a couple easy and a couple hard, so give it a try.
Yeah. Cool.
Maybe you'll get lucky.
Were there a ton of correct answers?
Yeah, there were. So
nice.
It would not be fun to have people listen to us read 30 names, so. Okay, take us out of here.
This question. So our in-show weekly trivia question, which we will answer after the news break, is which of the following are not an animal represented in the the anime Killing Bites? A squirrel, lion, rabbit, cobra, or a cheetah?
I'm shaking my anime boy butt on camera. I would twerk on the table, but I don't think my doctor would want me to do that. It would probably hurt my back.
If you're having back problems now, maybe you shouldn't twerk it.
I knew I should
break it.
You know, a couple weeks ago, I was twerking on the dance floor and it hurt, but I was like, I'm just too fired up to quit it, and now I'm injured. So I blame the twerking.
There we go. Sorry, I was on such a massive delay. Now I see it though.
I'm glad you were able to see it. All right, guys. When we come back, we're gonna run down a massive pile of anime from the summer 2018 season. So you'll know exactly what's coming out and what we're gonna be covering. And then later, it's softcore porn with animal girls. So stay tuned. And we'll be back after the news break. And I forgot to move the damn thing down the board.
And you were
God
so excited about it too. You're like, today I got it.
Oh God. I'll do better after the news break.
Though.
This is why we need Kazuo, because I am useless. Okay, we'll see you guys after the news break. Hey everybody, it's your boy Mitsugi, and he's here for another anime news break. Leading us off, we have some World Cup news coming out of Japan. It looks like during Japan's surprise 2-1 victory over Colombia, the mass amount of people that went to use the restroom at halftime almost caused a crisis in Tokyo. The 45-minute halves of soccer are followed by a one single long overtime period, and people tend to hold off on trips to the bathroom until this halftime period occurs. Well, the water usage in Tokyo spiked by 24% during that break, according to the city's waterworks on Friday, which is potentially a problem for the city, but it looks like they managed to recover. But it's funny that Japan's plumbing system was almost outdone by the World Cup soccer fans. Next up, the author of One Piece, Eiichiro Oda's mass donations to earthquake-affected regions of Japan cannot overcome comments that he has made in recent mangas. Recently, in the flap side of the front cover of a recent volume of the One Piece manga, the 89th volume, there was a joke in which a one piece of karaage, Japanese-style fried chicken, was left on a serving plate, and someone decided to name it Sergeant Yokoi, who was one of Japan's last army holdouts after World War II in 1945. He was discovered living in the jungles of Guam in 1972. This is a sort of a controversial and an offensive comment made by Oda, and Shonen Jump, not pleased by it, has apologized for the comments by the One Piece author. Next up, and in some totally unrelated news, Osamu Tezuka's 1970s manga titled Marvelous Melmo, starring the shape-shifting girl Melmo, is getting a reprint. This time it has new materials that were discovered in a locker drawer that were drawn by Osamu Tezuka's daughter, Rumiko Tezuka. So for those of you that are fans of Tezuka and are fans of the Melmo manga, they're going to be getting a reprint of this, and it's going to have additional content, so you'll probably want to keep your eyes peeled for that when it comes out later on. And lastly, Space Battleship Tiramisu, which is definitely considered by many to be sort of a weird anime. The story centers around a mecha pilot named Subaru who loves his mech and to be in the cockpit of the mech. And much of the story's humor centers around weird things that Subaru finds himself doing while fighting opposing forces in space, including talking to his own stray pubic hairs in the cockpit. Yes, I said pubic hairs. So much so that he captures one of these pubic hairs and keeps it in a mint tin so that he can continue to talk to it, I guess. Well, all of this is for context, and they're going to be getting a stage play of the Space Battleship Tiramisu anime, which is going to include many characters from the story, including the pubic hair. So if you want to see a pubic hair played by someone, I guess, I assume as a joke, you can watch the Space Battleship Tiramisu play when it is performed in Japan. It looks like it's going to be performed in Osaka from August 11th and 12th, and Tokyo from July 25th to July 31st. Very weird stuff, but the string of stage plays being made from anime and manga properties continues to be hot. This is Mitsugi, and this was your anime news break. Now, let's get back to the podcast.
After Parties Hobby Addicts Hunter episodes. After Parties Hobby Addicts Hunter episodes. After Parties Hobby Addicts Hunter episodes.
What in the world are you two doing? I'm trying to sleep here. It's midnight.
We're using Mandy's arcane power to do a content prayer dance.
Yeah, we're hoping the content gods bless us with thrilling entertainment for the fans.
Content prayer dance. You know, there's a much easier way to make better content. How about starting with studying our vast archive of additional content on AAAPodcast.com?
Oh, I already have. I mean, it's only $7 a month for almost 8 additional episodes every month.
That's less than $1 per extra episode and super easy to get to. Just gotta type AAPodcast.com/join to become a member.
You went through the whole archive? It's hundreds of hours.
Well, Senpai, anything is possible.
If you believe.
I think I'll just leave you two alone.
Hey, is he gone yet?
Yeah, ready?
Yeah. After Parties Hobby Addicts Hentai episodes. After Parties Hobby Addicts Hentai episodes.
ザ・アニメアディクツアノニマスポッドキャストプレゼンツカズオ vs ザ・キャットバス
Who do you got for number 1?
I have the cat bus from My Neighbor Totoro. Shichi Kokoyama Hospital.
Okay.
That's where the cat bus goes.
Yeah, but like, what are the cat bus's combat abilities?
It has the most powerful headlights in history on its eyeballs. It could blind you drastically with its eyeballs.
That's the worst.
It can run on telephone wires. You know how nimble that is? That agility.
Right,
such agility, such grace. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Does the cat bus not have about 10 legs?
Does it have 10 legs? Yes, true.
Do cats have claws?
Yeah.
How many claws does a cat have on every paw?
Oh, I don't know. Like
It's 5.
5? Okay.
That is 50 razor sharp blades coming
But
at you.
look at it.
It's like a bowling ball covered in butcher knives. It's coming at your ass. Yeah, that cat bus is terrifying. That son of a bitch is coming at you.
It does look terrifying.
It's literally screaming all the time. It would take you to the Shichi Kokoyama Hospital after it beats your ass.
It's gonna beat your ass and take you to the hospital.
Yeah.
And now back to the podcast.
And we're back to the 427th episode of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast, and I will not forget to move the thing down the board again. And the sweet sounds of Chopin.
You were so excited about getting it right this time.
I know, I failed already.
That's all right.
I can at least, all I can do is try to do better.
Yeah, so. It's all right. At least it's there and they can still read it.
That's true. So I did eat the rest of that blueberry cheesecake thing, and holy shit, that was good as hell. I freaking demolished that. Of course, it wasn't very big because it's Japan, but...
Nice.
But we have big things in store on this next segment because it's time for Mandy's Manga Minute.
We gotta answer our trivia question first.
Thank God you're here.
Go our in-show weekly trivia question, which is for our first news break. The question was, which of the following were not an animal represented in the anime Killing Bites? Was it a squirrel, a lion, a rabbit, a cobra, or a cheetah?
Which one was it?
It was squirrel. Squirrel was not in there.
Squirrel.
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Yep.
Yeah,
there was a rabbit girl.
Thank God. Oh, yes, there was. Oh, yes, indeed.
And there was a cheetah girl, that's for sure.
Funny thing about rabbits. Anyway. All right, so let's that joke, the punchline of that joke is obvious, so shall we move on to Mandy's Manga Minute?
Let's do it.
And now, let's take a minute for the Manga Minute with Mandy.
Take it away, girl.
Alrighty, so Mandy's Manga Minute is where I take a minute to tell you about a manga that you may or may not have heard of and hopefully help you find something new to read. And this week, I'm going to do The Bride Was a Boy. And this will be a quick one because the manga is only one book, so it's a very quick read. But it is a diary comic with an upbeat, adorable flair that tells the charming tale of Chi, a woman assigned male at birth. Her story starts with her childhood and follows the ups and downs of exploring her sexuality, gender, and transition, as well as falling in love with a man who is head over heels for her. Now Chi is about to embark on a new adventure, becoming a bride. And this is not like a typical manga. It's done in a journal style. Like if you have read My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness, it's similar style to that, where somebody just telling their experience in drawing. But The Bride Was a Boy is by the author Chi, and it is a personal story about their transition, coming out to her parents, meeting someone she loves, going into surgery, and eventually going through the difficulties of lately being recognized as a woman. And I found it to be a very, very informative read. It has some pages that are just filled with information on the topic and answering questions such as like, what is gender reassignment? Is it the same as cross-dressing? Where do you have these surgeries? What are the complications? Where do you file paperwork and what is required? And so yeah, it was very informative. It's more upbeat than I think some people would have expected, because everyone that she meets is very supportive of her decisions, such even like her family and friends. So I've read some comments that might be a little bit difficult for some people to relate to, and the art style is also done like a chibi style, so I can see that putting some people off too. But I found it to be very positive, and I feel like I learned a lot from it, and it's kind of refreshing to see someone go through this process smoothly and just have so much love from everybody around them. And yeah, I felt like I really did learn a lot from it. And manga was originally published in Japan in 2016, but it just came out this year in English. And yeah, you can buy it both physically and digitally. And the title was The Bride Was a Boy, for anyone who missed it the first time.
Sounds good.
Yep.
That one sounds like it has some very serious social issues in it, so it's kind of refreshing to have that.
It was very informative. Like a lot of the pages just like it had like panels of experiences she went through, like conversations she had, like coming out with people and anxieties of going through this process. And then there are like pages where it's just questions that she has had, like what is this, or how does this happen, and just answering them. So yeah, it is very interesting. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you for that.
No problem.
I enjoyed hearing you enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right, so we have the summer anime lineup. Do I have a drop for that?
We do.
No.
Maybe.
We don't have a drop for everything.
Okay.
Almost everything. So
it's gonna be interesting with just the two of us.
Yeah, I mean, it's like nothing is ever gonna match the spring season. The spring season's been so good. Like, no, I mean, normally for this podcast, I watch anime every week, but it's because I have to watch anime every week because we're reviewing anime every week, right?
Yeah.
This season, I'm just watching lots of different stuff because it's so good. Like, I'm watching Full Metal Panic and Gura Zeni. And sneezing very loud.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you. That was a good one. Yeah. Gura Zeni and Major Second, by the way, incredible. Unbelievable. And there's so many others I'm watching, and it's like the summer season is just never going to stack up to the spring season. But I still think there are some good things here. So, and I hope I think we got most of them covered here on our list of 20 shows. So I'm just going to
I'm not going to lie. Towards the end of my list, I started just putting random stuff because I was like, oh man, I already got all like the good ones. And there are ones I was like, I know I'm not going to get this because somebody else wants it like more than I do. So I just start putting random stuff. So
everyone has their own sort of methodology. Kazuo won out pretty much. He had the best dice roll. So that tends to, whoever gets the best dice roll tends to get the best selections. So especially in a season when a lot of us wanted the same, like 5 or 6 shows. So I'm just gonna kick it off here. I am doing a show called Senjushi, which is directed by Kenichi Kasai, who directed Honey and Clover. So that's and Bakuman. So that guy's got some pretty good resume under his name. TMS Entertainment is doing the animation production. And TMS Entertainment recently did Orange, so a lot of people remember that show, and they did Relife. Despair War is a battle between ancient guns and contemporary guns. Due to the nuclear war, the world was destroyed. Under the full governance of a world empire, people are living with their freedom taken. Despite the forbidden rule of owning any weapons, there is a resistance that secretly fights against the world empire. They own ancient guns left as art and fight using these. Then the Kijushi appear as the souls of the ancient guns. I feel like we've had a show like this before. Proud and magnificent, the absolute royal are the only ones that can give hope to the world. The story depicts the everyday life of the Kijushi: laughter, despair, happiness, confusion, pain. Would they still pursue their own absolute loyalty to fight? What do they fight for? What do they protect? I watched the trailer, and
there's some pretty boys.
Lots of pretty boys in the trailer, and a pretty girl, or maybe that was a boy. I don't know. His or her name was Kentucky, so I don't know exactly what gender that person is, but it's anime, whatever. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, you're right. A lot of pretty boys in it. What was that? We had an anime that Chiaki did a while back where the guns had souls in them, and she hated the shit out of that show. They don't think that this show is going to be that, but
guns had souls. I know.
Yeah.
Tokendambu has souls of swords that turn into boys.
That wasn't it, but
okay.
So basically, what I would tell you is that this sounds like a story that's going to have some fighting in it, and it has lots of pretty boys.
Yeah, it says it's based off a mobile game. So
it is what it is.
Yeah, interesting. Maybe the gameplay is similar to Tokendambu. I'm just trying to look up what the gameplay was like, but I can't really find much.
And I guess I'll tackle Kazuo's next pick since we're just good on the line here.
Yeah, I can do Enzo's if you want to do Kazuo's.
Sure. Kazuo has for his first on his list. He has Yuragi Soul no Yunasan, which is directed by Tetsuyoshi Nagasawa. Animation production is done by Studio Zebek. Kogarashi, a high school boy cursed with misfortune to see ghosts since birth. Sounds like The Sixth Sense. Finds a haunted inn offering rent-free rooms to anyone able to exorcise a ghost. When the ghost turns out to be an innocent young girl, Kogarashi decides to help her move on rather than purify her. While he works on that, Kogarashi is pulled into the paranormal hijinks of the other residents of the inn and even his new schoolmates. So that kind of sounds like a fun comedy show.
Yeah.
You know what would be really cute and kind of sad though is if he like fell in love with the girl that was a ghost.
Oh no.
He can.
There was an anime like that. Was it Amnesia something?
Don't even go there.
Not that one. It's
Don't
a different one.
even
It's
go
called
there.
Amnesia. It's in the name.
How dare you even say that word?
Look, I'm gonna look it up. I forgot the name of it, but
So, yeah, because it'd be like, oh, he found this.
Dusk Maiden of Amnesia. That was it.
You said it again.
I know.
It's like the
Just
knights.
forget it.
It's like the knights who
Just
sing
forget
me.
about it.
Do not say it.
Forget about it. You've got amnesia. Go on. I'm just kidding.
So it sounds like a cute, funny show. You know, it's I think it'd be interesting if he fell in love with the ghost girl, but that probably won't happen. Because it would be like, you know, he can interact with her, he can see her, probably talk to her. So that's enough to fall in love with her. So, you know, but she's already dead, so that would just be so sad. So
yeah, that would be sad.
Yeah. Okay. What you got?
So Enzo's first pick is called Island, and I did not watch the trailer for this because I wasn't expecting it to. So, but the synopsis is Urashima, an island far from the mainland. The people who live there lead carefree lives, but 5 years ago, the island's 3 great families suffered a series of misfortunes and succumbed to suspicion. The people of the island cut off all contact from the mainland and began a slow decline. The key to saving the island lies in 3 girls who belong to the 3 families, but they are bound by old traditions and are conflicted. On that island, a lone man washes ashore. Oh no. Is this a hentai? The man claims to be from the future, and he begins a solitary struggle to change the island's fate. It says it's a drama sci-fi by the studio Feel. Oh no.
Studio what?
Feel? It sounds like a hentai. No, they did Dagashi Kashi, and they did Kiss X's.
Oh boy.
They did Hinamatsuri. I like that one.
Okay.
So yeah. His comment on it that he wrote on our spreadsheet just says, I hope it's good.
Very nice. Thank you, Enzo. That was great. Much appreciated.
My first pick is called Chiyo-chan no Sugakuro, and this looks insane.
Oh boy.
Chiyo-chan no Sugakuro. I did watch the trailer for this one. It's by Studio Diomeda, who did Aho Kuro and Fuka, so it's not a great lineup. But the plot is this is a story of a nerdy bookworm girl on her way to school, and yes, that's the entire premise. And she's not getting to school anytime soon.
What?
Taking her usual route to school. It becomes an increasingly unusual adventure, and all the more ridiculous as it carries on. It takes an unpleasant sentiment many can empathize with the feelings of tardiness and brings humor to it, making it a hilarious situation to look back upon. And I watched the trailer for this, and it looked so insane I had to put it on my list. It reminded me a little bit of Nichijou, except maybe a bit more extreme.
Okay.
The trailer looks like each episode is going to be an insane event for this girl on her way to school, and it goes from like a scene where she's a stripper to a car chase to an FPS game. There are gangs, and I don't know. It looked
vans with candy, and
it looks insane.
A stripper? How old is she?
Well, I mean, she still had like her school uniform on, but she was like dancing on a pole. I don't know. It looked like it might be Nichijou or maybe Pop Team Epic kind of humor. So I don't know. Gotta give it a shot. Excuse me.
All right.
So, yeah, that was my first one.
Nice job reaching right for the smut. It's beautiful. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So,
Mr. I picked Killing Bites. Come on.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes a man just wants to watch a cheetah girl lick the stomach of another girl who is an animal. Who's if I say Rattel, nobody will know what animal that is. Honey badger girl. Sometimes you just want to watch a honey badger girl and a cheetah girl licking each other. Is that so wrong?
And sticking her claws in each other's mouths.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's nice. The bunny girl didn't get in there on that, but she definitely should have.
Man, she wanted to.
She did. She did.
Anyways,
because they breed every day. I mean, it's perfect. So, all right. My next anime on the list, which is to be honest, still pretty far down my preferred list because I did not hit a home run this time.
Yeah, mine was pretty low too.
Yeah, this is still in like the I don't really give a shit area.
Yeah.
Agu Tensai Ningyo is the Genius Dolls. Basically, is the English title.
Genius dolls.
And the director is Bob Shirohata. His name's actually Bob. It's pretty funny. Who directed Hitalia, part of Hitalia, and Gravitation, done by Studio Dean. We all know Studio Dean by now. They're becoming a little more. They've been around for a long time, but they're becoming more prolific because they've had some pretty decent shows lately. Junji Ito and Hozuki no Reita, I think has been a big.
I love Hozuki.
Yeah, it's been a big driver for them. Ai is an ordinary girl and a dancer. Her friend Machi is also a dancer, but Machi is a genius. Watching Machi's talent often makes Ai feel down, but one day Ai finds out Machi's secret: the existence of the Agu, palm-sized entities who grant genius talent upon those who hold them. In order to save Machi, who has become a seamstress who makes Agu, Ai becomes a quote-unquote savior. The saviors are a group of people who have fought the seamstresses for generations. That plot literally makes no sense to me, but there are dancers, and there are geniuses, and there are seamstresses. And when they combine, you get...
They form Voltron.
You get the Nutcracker. Sweet.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Says it's based on a web manga, so interesting.
Yeah. So, cool. Kazuo, all of Kazuo's picks would be in like the these are good range because he got almost every single one of his top 5, which is...
I know. I'm happy he didn't get my top 1, so...
Just, yeah. All right. Well, all right. So I just watched the trailer for this a minute ago. Isekai Mao to Shokan... That word confuses me because to Shokan means library, but this one says Mao to Shokan. But that's 2 different words. No, whatever. Isekai Mao to Shokan Shoujo no Dore Majutsu, which means in English...
You got an isekai? Oh man, he's gonna love it.
It's in the title, literally. Which means, I think the title is How to Not Summon a Demon Lord. In English, I think is the title.
Oh, I've heard of that somewhere before.
Yeah, the director
I think the manga did, or light novel did okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The director is Yuta Murano, who directed Brave Beats. It's done by Studio Agiado, which I hadn't heard of, honestly, so I looked them up, and they did Folktales from Japan, and they've worked on pretty much every Doraemon movie, which there's like 100 of them. The plot is pretty long. In an MMORPG called Cross Reverie, Takuma Sakamoto is so powerful that he is lauded as the Demon Lord by other players. One day he's summoned to a world outside his own, but with the same appearance he had in the game. There he meets 2 girls who both proclaim themselves to be his summoner. They perform an enslavement ritual to turn him into their summon, but that's when Takuma's passive ability, Magic Reflection, activates. Instead, it is the girls who become enslaved. Though Takuma may be the strongest sorcerer there is, he has no idea how to talk with other people. And I'm sure girls, that should be in quotes. That should be in
Wait,
brackets.
that sounds really similar to one that just came out recently.
Yeah, it sounds like Overlord.
Overlord?
He's the most powerful.
Flames in it, did it?
Well, I mean, in Overlord, he was.
Well,
like,
I mean, that's like every isekai.
He was like the most powerful thing ever, and then like every girl just wanted to be his slave.
Who cheats, by the way? He buys stuff in the online. You know what?
He's just a whale. That's a cheater.
Yes, he's a whale.
Cheater, pumpkin eater. Pumpkin eater.
Pay to win game.
Son of a bitch. Though Takuma, and maybe the strongest sorcerer there is, he has no idea how to talk with other people, basically girls, I'm sure. It is here he makes his choice to act based on his persona from the game. That's his choice. He's going to act based on... So I watched the trailer. One of the
There's some naked girls in it.
One of the girls looks like a priestess, and she has massive breasts, which bounce like as if they were on springs, like in her clothing. Then the other girl is a cat girl, but she is completely flat-chested. So they've covered both of the male audience. They've covered the ones that love the big-breasted girls. They've covered the ones that like the flat-chested girls. So we got this covered. It's good. Then inject some epic scenes where sorcerer guy is fighting dragons and stuff, and boom, you have an isekai anime. Perfect. I didn't see any.
I swear.
I didn't see any.
We just had.
I didn't see. Yeah, it's called. It's called ReZero. It felt like I was watching ReZero.
I watched ReZero. I feel bad. I'm sorry, but
I didn't hate ReZero. I mean, I thought it was okay.
I know it's really popular though. I need to watch it eventually. But man, I swear we just had an isekai about slaves. I can't remember what it was though. I swear we did.
There's like 25,000 isekai shows, so.
That's true.
This one looks like it at least looks like the trailer made it feel grandiose, I'll say. Which is kind of how I feel about ReZero. Like it was
Icy Rose got it. Of course. He got Death March to Another World. That I was thinking of.
There you go. The fact that you did not know the name of the other isekai anime that was about slaves is not a bad thing. It just means that
I didn't watch it.
it means you dodged a bullet the Matrix style. You did like the back bend. Okay. So that's it.
Cool.
You're up.
Let me go on to Enzo's next pick.
Yeah, let's see what this old pizza lover picked. Pizza Man, Pizza Delivery, the animation.
Yes. It's actually just Pizza Bitch. His next one is Harukana Receive, and it says the story takes place in Okinawa, where Haruka forms a beach volleyball pair with Kanata, Kanata, who couldn't handle the pressure put on her by her short height, had given up on beach volleyball already, but is convinced by Haruka to step back on the sand once again and aim for the junior tournament. So it's kind of like Haikyuu, except with girls. But no, it says it's an ecchi slice of life sports show, and it is by CSC or C2C. I'm sorry.
Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball.
Yeah. I was trying to see what C2C has done. Not much.
All right, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Over or under on 5 separate scenes in which lotion is applied?
There's going to be lots of suntan like lotion put on to people.
Yeah, but over or under 5 scenes?
Over.
The whole, over 5. Okay.
Gotta be over. If it's an ecchi, come on. We'll see if it's actually lotion.
Oh.
But Enzo's, because I also didn't watch the trailer for this one, but his comment on it is, as a Haikyuu fan, there is no way I wasn't going to take a look at this one. It's risky, but I wanted to pick it. On one hand, it seems pretty fan servicey as it's beach volleyball with girls, and ecchis in the genre.
A Fujoshi show.
And he says, on the other hand, the animation is beautiful, with lots of L's.
Lots of what?
And it looks lots of L's. He put beautiful.
Oh.
And it looks competitive as well. If this anime has a good story behind it, I think I could like it very much. So yeah.
I want it to be Haikyuu for all the Haikyuu fans. I know there's a lot of people that love Haikyuu, but it is a beach volleyball anime about girls in the ecchi genre, which doesn't really sound like Haikyuu very much.
I wonder how many times they're gonna bounce the ball off their boob. We'll see.
Oh, over under 30 times. Over under 30 and a half.
Oh man, 30's a lot. Their boobs are gonna be real sore. I'm gonna say I'd say below that though.
Under, okay.
They have.
Okay.
I don't know. I might try this out too. Like I'm watching the trailer right now, and it actually, like, the animation's really cute.
Does it have boobs?
I haven't seen any boobs like we did in the last one, where the girls just were completely naked. But I mean, they have boobs. Yes, they are women.
Yes, well, that's normally the case with girls.
Nobody in the trailer looks like they have any like obscene huge boobs. So let's see where the ecchi part comes in.
Yep, we will. We will. I'm sure. They can't give you everything in the trailer.
Yeah. Let's see. My second one is Tsukumogami Kashimasu, and this one I picked because the studio is Telecom Animation Film. They did All Out, Orange, Lupin Part 5, and the plot is the series is set during the Edo period in the Fukugawa ward of Old Edo, present-day Tokyo. Because the area is prone to fire and flooding, residents rent everyday items like pots, futons, and clothing from shops instead of purchasing them, so as not to impede them when they flee. Obeni and Seiji, an older sister and younger brother, run one such retail shop called Uzumoya. However, mixed in with their inventory are Tsukumogamis. There are objects that have turned into spirits after 100 years of existence. The siblings sometimes lend these sentient items to customers. Both Obeni and Seiji can see and talk to the spirits, and other Tsukumogami often come to the store after hearing of the famed sibling. Of course, I picked it because I love stories about yokai. And it says it's based on a novel. It has history in the tag, so I'm hoping it's a little informative on events during the Edo period. I really like fantasy stories and in unique worlds are fine. Like I like those, but I also really like when you can learn something from an anime about a certain time period or folklore and so on. So yeah, I picked this one, and also looked like it didn't go. I like that it didn't go for the usual yokai like we always see, like the kitsune and tanukis and so on.
Exactly.
Instead, it went for the tsukumogamis, which are like the kasobakes, where like the umbrellas with like the eyes and the mouths, and yeah. The trailer, the colors look very bright, and I really like the color palette, and it looks like it might be a hidden gem. So hopefully it's good, but I don't know. See.
I still say that when we were in Miyajima on the last Japan trip, I still say I saw a tanuki.
Well, I was with you. We did. It was massive.
It ran.
It was huge.
And it ran on the road and went down into the gutter.
It did.
On the side. Yeah.
It ran away before we could take a picture of it, and it was not like a dog. It was not a cat.
It was not a cat, people.
Like a massive, like raccoon-looking thing. It was huge.
It was not a Mario. Okay.
It was not Mario.
I'm not
true,
and we're not crazy. We both saw it. All right.
It was not from Tampoko.
People are like, who the hell gives a shit if you saw tanuki? Tanukis have been thought to be extinct for a long time now. So they were.
They still exist, right? Don't they?
You have to look that up. I thought they were extinct, but
maybe.
Okay. So.
Oh, they're so cute. This is definitely what we saw. I'm positive.
While I talk about this next one, try to figure out if they were extinct or endangered or anything.
I am. I'm gonna do it.
All right. So this next one I picked is it was the number 5 anime on my list. So we're getting up there now, and that is Backstreet Girls. Are back, all right. So this one's done by Chiaki Kon, directed by Chiaki Kon, who directed Higurashi no Nakukoro ni. She directed Umi Neko no Nakukoro ni. She directed No Dame Cantabile. She directed about a million other things, and now she's directing this. So this woman has good shows. She has not so good shows, and she has violent shows, classical music shows, and now shows about mafia, yakuza that are forced to become pop idols. This is done by JC Staff. I don't think they need any introduction. 3 young yakuza members screwed up really big. Really big, causing their boss to lose millions. Contrary to the traditions of the Yakuza, their boss did not want their little fingers chopped off. For doing so, would not bring his money back anyway. Instead, he sent them to Thailand for extensive plastic surgery. I can see this anime being potentially offensive to some people.
Oh yeah, the manga looks crazy.
So instead, he sent them to Thailand for extensive plastic surgery, and then promoted them as an idol group. Their careers become so successful that most of their fans know absolutely nothing about their true identities. On the other hand, the 3 often feel frustrated for having to live 2 lives on and off the stage. So I watched the trailer. It's very gritty looking. Like it really does look like mafia guys, and then they really do become idol girls. So it's an interesting premise. I could see this being immediately offensive to large groups of people, but it is what it is. So it's exactly as I described it. So we're gonna.
Yeah, it looks wild.
Well, it does look wild.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Kazuo got pretty much everything he wanted, so he got all of his first 4 picks. So this next one was number 3 on his list, and it is Satsuriku no Tenshi. So he directed by Kentaro Suzuki, who hasn't really done much. Also done by JC Staff. Most girls waking up without any memory. Oh God, it's amnesia. Most girls waking up without any memory. I have PTSD.
It's okay. You got it. You'll be all right.
I'm scared to read the rest of this. Most girls waking up without any memory and meeting a serial killer would panic. But not Ray. In fact, far from being her biggest problem, Killer Zach might just prove a convenient resource when it comes to finding a way out of the building in which they're both trapped. I watched this trailer, and most of this trailer was a girl who looks very helpless being chased by a crazy-looking person with a giant scythe. Like, think Soul Eater.
Oh, this is the Angel of Death that people were excited about.
Angel of Death. It looks like a horror show. Did you ever play the game Clock Tower?
Yes.
Where that big Quasimodo guy's trying to kill you the whole time.
Oh my! Yes. Well, what was he called? Is it Elizabeth or no? When he calls for you, Elizabeth or something like that. I forgot your name. I remember that.
And what was the game where there's a guy chasing you, but you have like a big dog with you? It's a white dog. Do you know what I'm talking about?
A big white dog, a guy chasing you.
It's probably just Clock Tower 2 or something. So it looks like a thriller. If you like watching shows where people are getting chased a lot, I mean, this seems interesting. Yeah, it is exactly what I watched the trailer, and it is exactly as the description describes. A guy's chasing a helpless-looking girl around a lot.
It's based on a horror game, an RPG.
Yep.
So this is going to be on Steam.
It looks like a horror show. So a horror thriller. Not a horror like Junji Ito, but a horror like, Nightmare on Elm Street type stuff. So, all right.
Oh, yeah, it is on Steam. Huh, interesting. I might check that out.
Ho-hum, ho-hum.
And so this next one, oh yeah, by the way, I think some species went extinct of tanuki, but some are still going.
Isn't it more fun
They're
to
just
think
endangered.
Isn't it more fun to think that they're all extinct, but we saw one anyway?
What was that? Sorry, kind of cut out.
Isn't it more fun to think that they're all extinct, but we got to see one anyway?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyways, and this next one is Tenro Sirius the Jaeger. This one was actually on my list too, just because
Jaeger!
Jaeger!
Is this Attack on Titan 4?
Mm-hmm. It is, with vampires.
Oh, shit.
I actually just thought the animation looks really good. But, Tenro Sirius the Jaeger says the series takes place in the imperial capital of 1930. A group of people known as Jaegers landed on Tokyo's... the only word in the whole song that we know. Jaegers landed on Tokyo's...
I'm sorry, I won't do it again. I'm sorry.
They carry musical instrument cases and come to hunt vampires. A man named Yuli? Yuli? Y-U-L-I-Y. What kind of name is that? Yuli? I'm just gonna go with Yuli.
Yuli.
Yuli stood among them with a striking serenity and unusual aura. Known as a werewolf who had his home village destroyed by vampires, he and the Jaegers, I was so scared to say it for a second.
Jaeger!
He and the Jaegers engaged in battle against the mysterious holy ark known as the Ark of Sirius. What truth awaits them? And it is by PA Works.
Oh, so it probably looks nice.
Yeah, I mean the trailer looks really nice from what I've seen of it, and it looks like it's going to be very bloody and lots of action. So, what did Anzo say about it? He says, vampire werewolf stories are not always my thing, but this one looked action heavy and looked very well animated. I like the setting being in London as well. The trailer had some good hype to it. So I look forward to seeing how things play out. If the story has some good dramatic elements, this one could turn out well.
You guys are so thoughtful when you make your picks. Here's me. Up, Moe Girl next, Moe Girl next, Idol Girls next, sequel next. Oh. No.
Oh, no.
And I find three I want to watch, and then I go back through and I'm like, oh,
just start filling it in.
I'm just looking at the pictures. I don't even read the. I'm terrible. Well, we all know that.
It also says the source is an original, so.
That's always interesting.
Yeah, that was also my list. They took it from me.
Yeah, he sniped a few shows from you, actually.
He did. This is why I can't Look, I was good and put my picks in early, and everybody else comes in and takes my stuff. It's not cool.
Well, when you roll a 3 out of 20 on your D20.
Yeah, I know.
At least you got your first pick and your third pick.
That's true.
And your fifth pick. It wasn't a total crisis.
Yeah.
Are we back at me already?
We are.
Wow.
Okay. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Nope. I'm sorry. I haven't gone.
Nope.
I'm so sorry. My next pick is Hanebado. And Hanebado is the one about badminton. Hanebado is by Liden Films,
Oh.
who did Azon Senki.
Mhm.
And the plot is Ayano Hanesaki, a first-year student at Kanagawa Prefectural Kitakomachi High School, has a badminton ability able to surpass others effortlessly, yet avoids playing the sport. She sees Nagisa Aragaki, a third-year student who practices day and night, aiming to become the best player in Japan. Encouraged by coach Tachibana Kentaro, supported by club colleagues, and fired up by various rivals, the two engage in their youth and endured sport so thrilling like a shuttle flown at high speed. And yeah, it's based on the sports manga. I watched the trailer and the animation looks really nice. Like their swings and they swing their badmintons are very powerful, like realistically powerful. Like there's a lot of weight behind it. And yeah, it looks like it could be really good. I really like the art and the animation in it.
Are you passionate about badminton?
What's that?
Are you passionate about badminton?
No, actually, I don't know anything much about badminton.
You were like, it looks...
Except for what I played in school.
You were like, it looks realistic. There's a lot of power behind their hits. And I was like, wow. It's like...
Well, I mean, like, I'm comparing it to something like Kuroko.
Okay.
Like, I meant realistically powerful, not like somebody just shot off a basketball like a cannon.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, also, like, I don't know much about badminton, and I really like sports anime that teach me things. So, like, yeah, like, I don't know, like, I'm really into sports anime recently. And, yeah, I like it when it teaches me more about the sport, that like something that I don't know.
You should watch Good as Any, because that is the only thing that anime is about. It's about...
Yeah, you're so excited about it, so I might try it out.
It's about... Like, have you ever heard of the movie Moneyball with Brad Pitt, where they're talking about how to manage a baseball team, how to, like, how players are drafted, the salaries, stuff like that? That's the kind of stuff Good as Any is about. It's not really about watching guys play baseball. It's more about learning about the sport. Like, anyway, whatever. I could go on forever.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to check it out.
My next pick was let's see, how far down my list do I have to go for this one? Number 2. So we're now officially in this. This is the good shit.
And then go back to you.
Yeah. So this is Angel Moise Genko Kasenki, directed by Takayuki Kuriyama, who I don't think has done anything, and animation production by Studio Naz, who did Hamatora and Recreators. In the year 1274, the invading Mongols have their sights set on Japan. The exiled samurai Jinzaburo Kuchi is in Kamakura when he finds himself face to face with the invasion. Kamakura being directly to the southwest of Tokyo. It's a region where like a lot of like temples and stuff are located. It's very, very historical. And I watched the trailer, and it looks really quite nice from the trailer. A lot of action. There's definitely its fair share of like guys having their arms cut off and like blood splatters on the screen. Definitely a lot of old samurai type like fight scenes and things like that. So if you're a person who is into action scenes that involve primarily, old-fashioned stuff like swords, you are definitely going to like this. I wouldn't say it's quite in the vein of like an Arslan Senki, because I didn't see any evidence of there was no evidence of military or kings or anything like that in the trailer, although that could be in there somewhere. But it definitely looked like a pretty interesting show. So action-packed. Are you still with us, Mandy? Mandy? I knew it. One second, please, guys, while I make a note. We're having a thunderstorm, and as always in Florida, and it's messing up the electricity. But I'll do Cosmos, and we'll see if Mandy comes back. All right, so that one seems pretty interesting. And if you're a fan of action scenes, violence, sort of the Stranger type fight scenes and things like that, it will probably excite you. Not that I think it will be as well animated as Sword of the Stranger. Fully Cooley Alternative is Kazuo's next pick. Of course, somebody was going to pick up the Fully Cooley anime. I think it was pretty obvious. The director is Katsuyuki Motohiro, who directed Psycho Pass. So that's Psycho Pass is a pretty loved show, and so at least there's an experienced director behind it. It's done by Studio Production IG. In the new season of Fully Cooley, many years have passed since Naota and Haruko share their adventure together. Meanwhile, the war between the two entities known as Medical Mechanica and Fraternity rages across the galaxy. Enter Hidomi, a young teenage girl who believes there is nothing amazing to expect from her average life until one day when a new teacher named Haruko arrives at her school. Interesting. Soon enough, Medical Mechanica is attacking her town, and Hidomi discovers a secret within her that could save everyone, a secret that only Haruko can unlock. So I watched the trailer, and the trailer, it looked like the same kind of chaos you would expect from Fully Cooley, to be honest. It's got, things popping out of foreheads and robots exploding and people like drifting in cars and people screaming and Haruko looking crazy. It looks like it looked more animated, I would say, which Production IG is a pretty great studio, so I'm not really all that shocked by that. And Fully Cooley is like one of those shows that it was like a 6-episode OVA that came out 15 years ago or something, and somehow it's still thought very fondly of by pretty much everybody, a lot in part because it was on TV for quite a while on Cartoon Network, but also just because it was like an exciting and fun show that everyone seemed to love. Well, now you're going to get a lot more of it with this, and I'm honestly stunned to see Fully Cooley be coming back after all this time. So, but I think the fan base is still there, and people are probably going to love it. So, Fully Cooley's coming back, and Kazuo is going to be covering that one. Mandy, are you with us yet, or have we still lost you?
I think I heard you.
Okay, you're back.
There we go. Yes. So sorry. F Discord.
Was that you or me?
No, I think it was
It doesn't matter.
Discord. It said the latency was too high and the owner of the Discord channel would have to switch the region because you were breaking up really bad there for a minute. So I was like, oh man, something's happening.
I'm having horrendous thunderstorms outside right now. I can see it through the window, and
oh, maybe that's why.
It's Florida. We have a thunderstorm every damn day. So, and for someone who lives like smack dab in one of the largest cities in the United States, I have horrendous internet. So, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Sorry about that. I'm back. Where were we?
It doesn't.
I'm so sorry.
So I just did Fully Coolly Alternative, and now it is your turn to cover the next of whatever ones you've got.
Oh, of Enzo's or of mine?
Enzo's, I guess. And
okay.
I can't remember if you're doing yours or Enzo's first, but
I'm doing Enzo's first.
Okay.
His next one is Grand Blue, and
wait a
that
second.
one is based off of
Mandy. Tee it up for me so that it's easy to edit. Like Enzo's next pick is so.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Enzo's next pick is Grand Blue. And Grand Blue is based off of a manga, which is actually pretty popular. Like right now, I'm checking Mao. On Mao right now, Grand Blue, the manga currently has an 8.9, and out of 10,000 people have scored it. So it's pretty popular.
Did you say 8.9?
Yep.
Holy shit. It hasn't even come out yet. It's already amazing.
No, the manga. The manga has an 8.9.
Oh, the manga. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's based off of manga. The manga currently has an 8.9, and out of like 10,000 people have voted for it. So, yeah, people really like the manga. I haven't read it yet myself. It's on our manga list, but
is this the scuba diving show?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is a comedy seinen slice of life. The synopsis is: among the seaside town of Izu's ocean waves and rays of shining sun, Iori Kitahara is just beginning his freshman year at Izu University. As he moves into his uncle's scuba diving shop, Grand Blue, he eagerly anticipates his dream college life, filled with beautiful girls and good friends.
Yeah.
That sounds nice. But things don't exactly go according to plan. Upon entering the shop, he encounters a group of rowdy, naked upperclassmen who immediately coerce him into participating in their alcoholic activities. Though unwilling at first, Iori quickly gives in and becomes the heart and soul of the party.
He's going to become a frat boy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this earns him the scorn of his cousin, Chisa Kotegawa, who walks in at precisely the wrong time. Undeterred, Iori still vows to realize his ideal college life. But will things go according to plan this time, or will his situation take yet another dive?
Whipped cream on his balls, doing a keg stand. Not the right time to have your cousin walk in.
It's by Zero G doing this one. They did not much. They did the anime dive, which, yeah.
What happened to that show?
I know! That one died. Like, that one took a dive.
It's like, it did. Oh, but it's like, we're really good at drawing water and abs, so we need to do another water show.
Yeah. I watched one episode of Dive. I just never got through the rest of it. I didn't think from what I saw that it was going to be my thing, so...
Well,
they also did the Doreku animation, the one that was about like people owning people as slaves. It was last season. I don't know.
Huh. Okay.
But let's see what Enzo has to say. He wrote the write-up of
Enzo's comment.
Yeah. Enzo's comment. Wait, what did I say?
You said let's see what Enzo has to say. It's almost like a column in a magazine, like Enzo's advice.
Enzo's advice is, he would love that, actually. He's always asking for like an advice column. So Enzo's comment on this one is: the write-up of this anime on Mao, for one, actually got me interested. With summer taking place, I usually hope for a funny comedy anime because it feels right to have one for this season. I also have a sweet spot for anime that take place in college setting, as college was probably still the best few years of my life. Based off the description, I look forward to some good random ridiculousness. Yeah, this one was also on my list because the anime did so well. The manga did so well. So I was really interested in it.
You ever gone scuba diving?
Nope. I will not do that because I am very claustrophobic, and the thought of breathing in a tube scares me.
You know, I'm scuba certified, and I've gone several times. But it's just such a damn hassle to scuba dive, to be honest. Like, you got to drive somewhere, and you got to lug about 300 pounds of steel equipment with you, and you got to like hook it all up, and sometimes you get cold when you're under the water. It's for me, I'm trading it in for mountain biking. I'm going back to mountain biking full time. Not my thing.
It's something that I wish I had the courage to do, but I think I would freak out.
If the water was warmer, like I'm sure it would be really a lot more enjoyable in like the Caribbean where the water's like 90 degrees or whatever, 80 degrees. But it's in around Florida, like where I am, it's always like natural springs and stuff, and the water is just freezing. It's just not all that enjoyable. Okay.
Alrighty. Well, my next one is Kyoto Teramachi Sanjo no Homes.
Holy shit. Holmes? Uh-oh.
I know, right? That's why I put it on my list. Actually, my comment for this one was I literally only chose this because it had Holmes in the name. Anyways, Kyoto Teramachi Sanjo no Homes is based on a mystery novel written by Mochizuki Mai. And there is an antique shop in Kyoto's Teramachi Sanjo shopping district. High school girl Mashiro Aoi unexpectedly runs into Yagashira Kirotaka, the son of the shop's owner, and ends up working part-time at the shop. Kiyotaka is called the Holmes of Teramachi Sanjo, and he and Aoi solve odd cases brought to them by various clients. And it's by Studio 7. I loved how what they've done, mostly hentai. They've mostly done hentai.
Oh, perfect.
What they like, the only decent thing they've done is, for that I have seen at least, is I can't understand what my husband is saying. Everything else, I was like, oh, this is a lot of hentai.
Yeah, well, what you don't know is that in episode 3, little Holmes-chan is going to get viciously raped by tentacle monsters in a back alley.
No!
Right.
Or, yeah, what? Oh, anyways.
It's either yes or no, okay?
It's a mystery. We'll see.
Yes or no. It can't be both.
So, yeah, I chose it because it's a mystery, and I really like the sound of the premise behind it. I think it, for me at least, I know I like episodic shows where each episode would be like a different mystery. And I don't know, I thought it sounded interesting for a Mandy show.
You picked it because it has Holmes on the title. Just admit it.
Yes! And if I can solve these mysteries before they do, then it's out of here.
Oh my god, you are such a Sherlock Holmes nerd.
I am. Was that thunder that I heard?
It has been thundering and lightning since we started.
Ooh, I could hear it this time.
So this podcast has had thunder, lightning, earthquakes, floods, hurricanes. We podcasted during a damn hurricane. Well, at least I did.
Oh yeah, I remember that. So, I was here for that one. Well, I was listening for this one.
We risk our lives so that you can be entertained. I actually like that. I think it's great. It's something about broadcasting while there's an earthquake going on, or when you expect there to be an earthquake, or when the hurricane is coming and you know it's coming and the audience is like trying to listen for it, or they're just waiting for it to cut. It's just, I don't know. It adds like a fun atmosphere, I think, for everybody. At least that's how I feel. So I welcome it. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Holmes girl. Okay. My number one pick. This is where it truly gets good. Harataku Saibol, which is all of the staff of this is the JoJo staff. The studio, the script writer, the director, everything is JoJo. And honestly, the trailer resembles JoJo a lot. Okay, so I'm going to read the plot synopsis as it is from the manga. The world is a dangerous place for a red blood cell just trying to get her deliveries finished. Fortunately, she's not alone. She's got a whole human body's worth of cells ready to help her out. The mysterious white blood cell, the buff and brash killer T cell, the nerdy neuron, even the cute little platelets. Everyone's got to come together if they want to help you keep you healthy. So it's true, right? Like your red blood cells deliver nutrients and oxygen to your whole body. You have bacteria in your body and viruses. And so you have macrophages that come in from your immune system, which are like very essential pieces of your immune system that almost like have tentacles that will reach out and literally eat foreign bodies and bacteria and viruses that are in your body and consume them. They're almost like tentacle monsters inside your body. There is a lot of I've said it before, the inside of your body is a war zone all the time. That is happening at this very moment inside of each and every one of the people listening. Each and every one of your bodies has billions of little battles happening. And so why not anthropomorphize all these individual things that are happening inside your blood and turn them into JoJo characters. I mean, it's perfect. It's very clever actually. And yeah, I could see like a red blood cell's cute and a little platelet is cute, but then like you have, the viruses that are gonna be like really horrible looking, and then you have like, I'm sure the macrophages are gonna look like JoJo characters that are just gonna be ripped. In fact, they are. I saw them in the trailer. They're just like these jacked out JoJo guys that are supposed to be like your immune system. It seems cool and very fun. And besides, David Production just kills it. Every single time David Production has made anything I've seen, it has looked great. And JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is epic as shit. So it's like an automatic. It's a dead giveaway. I was
excited about this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember Osmosis Jones?
Yes.
That's what the synopsis reminded me of.
We're gonna find out in a few weeks.
But yeah, I'm also gonna check out the manga of this before it comes out because I'm interested in it so much.
That's because you're a manga girl.
I am a manga girl.
All right.
But yeah, and I just thought it looked cute. I'm interested.
Me too. Kazuo's first pick is Attack on Titan Season 3. No, there's nothing else to say about it, I don't think, right?
Yeah, not really.
It is what it is. At least you didn't have to wait 6 years for this season. So, all right, next.
True. Enzo's first pick is Banana Fish. Banana Fish. Nature made Ash Lynx beautiful. Nature made him a cold, ruthless killer. A runaway brought up as the adopted heir and sex toy of Papa Dino Golzine.
Whoa. Did you say sex toy?
That's what it says.
That's intense.
It says sex toy of Papa. Ash, now at the rebellious age of 17, forsakes the kingdom held out by the devil who raised him. But the hideous secret that drove Ash's older brother mad in Vietnam has suddenly fallen into Papa's insatiably ambitious hands. I'm sorry. I was skipping through the synopsis. And it's exactly the wrong time for Eiji Okamura, a pure-hearted young photographer from Japan, to make Ash Lynx's acquaintance. It's based on a manga, and the manga came out in 1985, so it's an old one.
That's the year I was born.
Me too! And, but the manga currently has an 8.21 on Mao, so yeah, it looks like people liked it. And
is this anime not directed by Shinichiro Watanabe, the director of Cowboy Bebop?
No, it is not.
How did I mix that? Oh, there was another one. Okay, sorry. I think this must have popped up in the same segment as he's got another one coming. He's got one coming out, but okay, never mind. I got confused.
This one is by Studio Mappa, and yeah, he's done a lot of really good stuff. So
Mappa's been doing great.
Yep.
Okay, and the very last show.
My last show, free.
Oh, free, of course.
Dive to the future.
Okay.
Yep.
Yay.
There was not a synopsis for it up on Mal, but I did see the movie that came out this year, Take Your Marks. Actually, I think it came out in Japan last year, but it just came out here. They had like a showing for it here, which it was like 4 episodes kind of smushed together, so it wasn't really a movie. It was more like just 4 OVAs. And yeah, I'm interested to see what happens to all the characters, because Haru and Makoto are now in college and they're working at like a local pool, and Rin moved back to Australia, and yeah, they introduce new characters like at the end of Take Your Mark. So we'll see them hopefully figure out who they are in this series. Well,
since I hurt my back, I've been swimming, and I'm getting better at it. And so I have my own little episode of Free like 3 times a week at the pool.
Nice.
Yeah.
You only swim free?
Yes. In the freest way possible.
Nice.
That's right. And you'll let your imagination just go with that. So, Mandy, out of all these shows, as we do, out of all the shows we've got, which one of these do you think is going to be the best show?
The best? Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question. Man. I don't know. Like, I'm not a big fan of Attack on Titan, but I can see that one being really popular. I hope Free's the best. We'll see.
For me, I think Harataku Saibo is probably has the highest.
I'm excited about that one a lot.
Yeah.
I'm also excited for Fooly Cooly because I liked Fooly Cooly.
Yeah, a lot of people love Fooly Cooly. I think
it already started?
It might have, yeah.
I haven't watched it though.
Fooly Cooly and Harataku Saibo have a really high chance of being a good show. I'm really I'm interested in the Backstreet Girls show because I just don't know what angle they're gonna take with it, you know. So, like what's gonna happen in that show when someone tries to when someone tries to sexually assault one of the idol girls who's really a Yakuza guy, you know, but is an idol girl not of his own choosing, so he's obviously not going to be down with. I don't know. It just could be a nightmare. So I'm really interested in the spectacle that could just be a total train wreck. It's one of those things.
The other one that I'm really excited for, and people who will hear the recording of this won't know, but I cut out during Mitsugi's description of Engel Mois. I'm excited about that one because I watched the trailer and I thought it looked good.
Yeah, it could be really good. All right. So you want to do the trivia and then for us again before we go to the news break?
Yep, let's do it. So our next in-show weekly trivia question is, what is the model of Vice Principal Uchiyamada's car in the anime GTO?
That's right.
And we'll find out after the break.
Here's a hint. Onizuka destroys it about 4 times. Okay. And we'll see you in a minute. Stay tuned.
Yep.
Hey, all you anime fans, it's Mitsugi once again. Time for more anime news. Leading us off, well, we all know Makoto Shinkai, the renowned director of many films, including Your Name and The Garden of Words. Well, this renowned director's daughter, Chise Nitsu, is also perhaps on her way to show business. The young girl of 8 years old will play Sayaka in the live-action property Eki Made no Michi o Oshiete, Tell Me the Way to the Station, which is going to premiere in 2019 in the fall. The film is adapting Shizuka Ijuin's 2004 novel that has the same name. The story centers around a girl named Sayaka who cannot accept the death of her dog and continues to wait for the dog's return. She develops a bond with Kotaro Fuse, an old man who lost his son and a young child. The film will mark Ijuin's first novel to receive a film adaptation. So, looks like Makoto Shinkai's daughter is also on her way to being famous, and she's quite cute as well, so that's good. Next up, looks like 3 Dragon Ball Z films are being remastered and are going to be released by Fathom Events. This following the heels of the Ghibli Fest, also being delivered by Fathom Events, so credit to Fathom for supporting anime. Toei Animation has announced that these 3 movies, one being Bardock, or rather Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan, which is going to screen on September 15th and September 17th. And we all know what that movie's about. Bardock, the father of Goku, which I don't really recall being a movie, but more of an OVA, is going to screen as a double feature on November 3rd and 5th. And also, the Dragon Ball Z Fusion Reborn is also going to be coming as a double feature with the father of Goku movie. So, and if you're looking to support some Dragon Ball, you can go to the theaters and watch these movies, which I have done in the past, and they are quite good in theaters. So make sure you go check that out. Next up, the project staff for Uma Musume is asking fans to cease making, quote, harmful representations of the characters in the anime. They ask fans to avoid making and spreading representations of the Uma Musume characters that may be, quote, harmful. The message further asks that people avoid representations that fans of the original racehorses, the horses themselves or the horses' owners, also not be represented in unpleasant ways, which I'm sure fans will tell them to screw off, because you can't tell fans they can't draw fan art of characters that are probably intended to be, well, titillating anyway. Next up, we have a roundup of the Japan television ratings for last week. Just seeing if anything's changed here. Of course, the top is the normal crowd. Sazai-san, Chibi Maruko-chan, Detective Conan, a little higher than usual with a rating of a 7.6. Crayon Shinchan and Doraemon are in there as well. The Gegege no Kitaro, which recently replaced Dragon Ball Super, is coming in at number 6 with a rating of a 5.4, followed by your shonens, One Piece, My Hero Academia, Pokemon Sun and Moon, and also Precure. So that rounds out your list. This was Mitsugi, and this was your anime news break. Now let's get back to the podcast.
Hey guys, please go to okay, one more time. Visit jlist.net for oh man, that's not right. I gotta get this hosting down. If only Mitsuki Senpai was here to help.
You called, my dear Kohai?
Senpai, wait, you can teleport?
But of course. Now, do you wish to learn the ways of directing people to countless anime goods?
Yeah, teach me the ways of letting everyone know about the amazing snack selection JList.com has to offer.
Then listen closely, my Kohai. Go to jlist.com right now for all of your anime shopping needs and all of your anime snack shopping needs.
Senpai, sugoi.
Just how outrageous are the hosts of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast?
Bulma, Brief, from Dragon Ball Z, is such a tease.
Anime.
You're gonna go over to Master Roshi's house every day, wearing your little shorts, your little sexy tops.
Addicts.
But you're not gonna let him tap that ass, even though he wants to tap it and he gets nosebleeds all the time.
Anonymous.
He's 500 years old. The man can't die till he gets laid. Let the man rest in peace. All I gotta say is Master Roshi's sperm count is over 9,000.
Podcast. Don't miss a moment. Tune in at AAAPodcast.com and iTunes.
Welcome back, guys, to the 427th episode of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. Mandy, when we were on the news break, I came to a very important realization.
Uh-oh, what's that?
After we're done podcasting, thunderstorm be damned, I am going to drive downtown and have ramen.
Just gonna drive through the storm. Gotta get there.
It's not going to be super good ramen, because it's not, and it's overpriced, but I'm still going to go get it. So, we had an in-show trivia question. And after you read the question, I will answer it in the way that Vice Principal Uchiyamada would do it.
Alrighty. The question was, what is the motto of Vice Principal Uchiyamada's car in the Animal GTO? Animal? Anime. I'm so sorry.
Interesting. It's my Cresta. It's a Cresta. They call it a Cresta. Have you seen GTO, Mandy?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, good. Because that's important.
I had killing bites on my mind, so I said animal.
Oh, yeah. I see. Well, that makes sense. Okay,
yeah.
But we're not quite there yet, are we?
Nope, not quite. We've got a 5-star review to get through.
I want you to know that since I screwed up the first couple, I have been on the friggin' ball with moving this thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
All right, here comes your drop.
It's time for iTunes review.
All right, if you want to submit a review on iTunes, it could be a 5-star review if you want. We'll read it on the podcast, and you'll make us feel like we're loved, and or it could be a 1-star review, and you could make us feel like we're hated. Either way, just submit a review on iTunes. We're up to 430 reviews, which is by far the most of any anime podcast. But I would really like. I'm just getting greedy now. I have to invent reasons for people to give reviews. I just think having 500 would be sexy as hell. So
yeah.
It's a milestone. 500 is an awesome milestone. I know we'll get there. It might take another year or so, but we'll get there. Thanks for everybody who writes reviews.
You want me to read it?
Sure, why not?
All right. CGI Chained Addicted, and this is by Gene Nickel. Started listening a few months back, and you've definitely made my addiction worse. I've always enjoyed anime from back when Toonami first started airing and watched it occasionally, but now I'm watching them by season. So yeah, you've lived up to your podcast name. Thanks for being entertaining, and I appreciate the organization. Listen to this podcast to be entertained and to learn about new anime. Without this podcast, I would have never watched Made in Abyss, Monster, or Haikyuu, and it's colored my anime world with a little brighter, despite some stomping on your heart.
Oh.
Oh.
I know that's not me you're talking about.
Uh-huh. Maybe they love Amnesia too. Actually, to be fair, I've never seen Amnesia.
I told you never to say that again. Okay.
We actually tried to do a watch party, me and the girls, in the Discord for Amnesia, but we couldn't get through the first episode. It was so boring.
It's so terrible. It's the worst thing ever. Okay. So I passed Killing Bites a while back, and everybody was like, what? Huh? Why? And I'm like, because I wanted to just throw you off, basically, is the reason. Also, it's not really that awful. Like, it's trash, but it's not the worst thing in the world. But
yeah.
You know, after a guy like me who tends to just, pass the stuff that really should be passed only, like, well, I tend to like cut down. I tend to cut down the stuff that's garbage and trashy, and I never pass that stuff. So now you're never going to be quite sure what I will and won't pass.
It's gonna be a mystery.
I wanted to be unpredictable, so I passed Killing Bites.
Nice.
Which is an anime that came out in the winter, I think, in the winter of 2018. And holy heaven, what can I say about Killing Bites? It's a guy. In the beginning of the show, a girl. What the hell's her name? Hitomi. Hitomi is in a car getting ready to be abducted and raped and killed by a bunch of guys. It is what it is.
Mm.
Little do they know that she is a ratel, and which is another name for a honey badger, which is one of the toughest, craziest friggin' animals ever. I think it's a
Dude, honey badgers are mean.
They're mean as shit, and their videos.
I don't think
their videos of honey badgers taking on like 5-6 lions at once, and they're about 20 pounds, and but they're so vicious that the lions are thrown off by them. They're like. They don't really quite know whether to take on this little son of a bitch or not because it's just so goddamn mean.
Yep.
And, I mean, obviously a 20-pound honey badger can't take on a lion. It's silly. But it lasts a while in that scuff because, like, they don't want to mess with it. So she kills all of those guys. And, because they're trying to rape her. It's obvious. It's obvious that she's going to kill them. Yeah. And this guy named... what the hell's the guy's name?
Nomoto?
Nomoto gets wrapped into this world of this sport called Destroyal, which is basically where rich people acquire these anthropomorphic human/animal hybrids to fight for them in a game called Destroyal. And when you win the game, you get lots of prestige and you win a bunch of money. And so... Nomoto gets wrapped into this world with Hitomi and the bunny girl, and I can't even remember who else is on their team. There's another person too.
The hippo guy.
Oh, the hippo.
I forgot his real name though. Oh no.
He's such an afterthought. It's like whatever, because he's not a hot girl. So, and so a lot of most of this anime takes place, I think, from episode four until the end of it. They take place in this thing called Destroyal, which is where Nomoto and 3 other people sit around a table and they tell their quote-unquote like chess pieces, which are basically these people that are animal hybrids, where to go in this deserted island that's off the coast of the Philippines. And it's a simple anime. Like when two pieces, like when a honey badger and another animal person come into the same square on the map, they have to fight. And it's just a last man standing contest. Simple as that. But this show is full of like gratuitous violence, lots of sex, sort of, and lots of killing. So that's pretty much what it is. I think I just
lots of killing. Really?
I think I just covered
it. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Killing Bites. When I first started watching it, I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of fun with it for the first few episodes.
This is why I passed it, and because I was very not sober.
Killing Bites started off as one of those so bad it's good type of trashy, ecchi shows, but with a lot of action, and I actually had a lot of fun with the first couple of episodes because for the first couple of them, I loved Hitomi because I liked that she was like this really cold, like bitch. But then she would have these really cute moments where she would just blush because she loved was his name Shido? The guy who basically raised her.
Yes.
And she, whenever he was mentioned, she would just like blush and act real girly. And I don't know, when there are characters like that with that kind of juxtaposition in their like nature, I just love it. Like she's like this like killing machine, but then she has these like really cute moments, and I like that. But yeah, so I thought it was interesting to see the kind of animal hybrid designs that each person was going to have, because some of them, when they do transform, they look really weird and bizarre.
Yeah, some of them are really weird.
Especially like the gecko girl. I was not expecting her to look quite like that, but and I like that each character took on traits from their animal hybrids, like he told me, because man, honey badgers are mean as shit.
They're mean as shit. Holy crap.
And it was actually kind of funny because like that fight with Cobra that she has, I think he was a Cobra, the snake guy.
Yep.
It reminded me, and I swear they must have watched this too, whoever wrote the manga, because there's a video of this honey badger who takes food out of a like puff adder's mouth, straight out of its mouth, eats it, and turns around and eats the puff adder.
That's fucking crazy.
Tears him apart. But then the puff adder's poison gets into its system, and it just naps it off. It just lays down, takes a nap, gets back up, and starts eating the snake again. And it reminded me so much of that video when I watched her fight that snake guy.
And that
when
happens.
She like
that happens in that fight.
she gets poisoned.
She
just
gets
like
poisoned.
takes a nap.
It's like they literally watched that video, and we're like, we gotta put this scene in this anime.
Yeah, and I watched that video too of a honey badger taking on the lions, the 3 lionesses. It like bit down on this lion's nose and like did this weird like roll and like tore off the lion's nose. They're mean.
I mean, you gotta understand, this is a 300-pound lion and a 20-pound honey badger. You know, it's kind of like a human trying to fight an elephant with its bare hands. Like, good luck. But by God, you know, that human ripped a piece of skin off that elephant, you know, like.
Yeah.
But, you know, in that video, that same video, the lion also bites the honey badger and rips its chest open. But the honey badger, honey badger doesn't die though. It just keeps like fighting and trying to get away.
Yeah,
but,
they
like,
just keep going. Honey badgers will not stop. Like even when like you tear off its limbs, it will not stop. So I thought it was kind of interesting that each of the characters in this took on traits of the animal that they were based on. Some to a ridiculous degree, but
there's also a scene when the cobra has the honey badger girl poisoned and like, you know, on the ground unconscious. He's like, oh,
his cobra cannons.
His cobra cannons, where he basically spreads her legs apart, and 2 dead serious tentacles come out of him, and he's just gonna straight tentacle rape this girl.
Oh man, that was so bad. I hated him so much.
She wakes up and slices his tentacles off, and it's basically like the equivalent of her slicing his dick off. And he's like screaming and shit. And I'm like, that guy just got his dick cut off. Boom. That sucks. Oh my God.
This anime was so ridiculous.
This is so ridiculous. There's a scene later on where some animal that can create pheromones. I didn't even pick up what animal that girl was.
Civet. They're like cats.
A cat type thing. Like uses pheromones, and it affects the honey badger girl and this cheetah. And make no mistake, Hitomi, the honey badger girl, and the cheetah, they're both hot. Really, they really are. I would never kick them out of bed ever. I mean, they could be in my bed for 500 years. I still wouldn't kick them out. And they were just going to town on each other. I mean, there wasn't any nudity in that scene, at least not in the version of this anime I watched. But there was no nudity. But God, I wish there was. And
it was getting real close to a hentai.
I mean, they were making out, licking each other, like totally wrapped up, like, you know, legs and arms tangled. The cheetah's tail was coiled around the honey badger girl's like leg. I mean, it was getting in there, and then she uses it on the rabbit, and then they go into how rabbits have sex like every day, And the rabbit girl just wants to bang everything because she's so easily overtaken by the pheromone.
I actually thought the rabbit girl was super cute, though. I liked the rabbit girl a lot.
She should have joined in on. She should have definitely been in there with the cheetah girl and the rattle girl, without a doubt.
Yeah. To be more critical, though, I think towards the middle of the series onwards, I thought it took a massive dive.
We're not being critical?
I'm about the hot girls, sure. But yeah, I think towards the middle, it really started to take a dive for me, at least. Some of the more elaborate designs started relying on really bad CGI. And
yeah, that's true.
There were a lot of action scenes that were relying on still images to instead of like actually animating them. And I don't know, the narrative got real bizarre. And there are a lot of attempted rape scenes in this, like just for shock value. Like, I think the one that really bothered me though was Lion at the end. I was like, that was so pointless.
He did rape her pretty much. I think that was implied.
That one irritated me. I was like, that was completely like unnecessary.
It was unnecessary. That bitch had it coming though. She was a nasty ass person, but still, just no one deserves that. But yeah, so there was that rape scene. There was a rape scene sort of in the beginning with the honey badger girl, though she just kills them.
Most of them were attempts against the honey badger girl, and I was like, I know she's gonna like tear them apart.
They try to rape her about 3 times in this show.
Damn.
And the show, it doesn't show anything, but it's still very objectionable. But I mean, like, look what you're watching. So
yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought the fights at the end were a little interesting, and I thought that their choice of animal for the final guy was very interesting. And I'm just
pangolins.
He was a pangolin, which for those of you that don't know what that animal is, it's not a very like widely known animal. It's this like animal that lives in Africa and in Southeast Asia, and they're the only mammal that have like scales. They have keratin scales on them, and their scales are even like bulletproof, I think. And
I think back in the day they used to collect their scales and make armor out of them.
Armor and medicine in India.
Yeah.
And so like this poor animal is the most trafficked animal in the world, illegally trafficked. And the saddest thing about them is that like when you go to catch one, because they're very like slow animals, they just curl up into a ball and lay there. And all they do is just pick them up and drop them in a bag. It's so sad. Like there's no hunt, there's no sport to it even. You know, there's not even that bare minimum. They're just like human traffic. There's trafficking these poor animals, millions of them a year. And but like a pangolin, what an interesting like animal to choose. Because I thought that guy was a badass at the end. I was not at all disappointed by the fight in like episodes 9 and 10 and 11. I thought I was like, this is pretty cool. Like the tiger guy, the hippo guy. You got the tiger, the hippo, the pangolin, the honey badger, the cheetah, the rabbit girl, the civet, and like a couple others all fighting each other, sort of. They're pretty much all fighting the pangolin because he's so overpowered. But it was I was entertained by the final fight. I won't lie.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you feel like the players utilized the in-map like appropriately? Yeah,
that shit was like
that was bothering me the entire time.
Hell no, that shit was just there to make it like legitimize what they were doing. And then, and then it was all about like raping the poor honey badger girl and like watching like they were really loving watching the cheetah girl and the honey badger girl go to town though. Like everyone was cheering and shit. And then the one girl, the bitch, well, I don't know. Everyone's trying to have a good time, guys and girls. They're all like having fun watching this, like for lack of a better term, like sex scene in their broadcast. And the one girl is like unhappy about it, and I'm like, man, you gotta ruin it for everybody. She was just so horrible. Like she was everything that came out of her mouth was just arrogant and just insufferable. Like the guy next to her was useless because he was just a college student, and everybody was stupid, and she was like the greatest thing ever. And I was just like, shut the hell up. So she got hers at the end, like when her like Zaibatsu collapsed or whatever, but I didn't like her very much.
No.
She still didn't deserve to get raped by the lion guy, but
that was completely unnecessary.
I mean, no one deserves that, but she was a pain in the ass.
Like I know I'm expecting too much from an ecchi show, but I was kind of annoyed that like they set up like this big like battle royale system like with a map and players get to play them like chess pieces, but they all just end up on the exact same piece. I was like, man, you guys could have used the terrain to your advantage and like dragged it out a bit longer. And it's like it was acting like there's all this strategy. I'm like, no, they're all just kind of putting them in the exact same place to make them all do this like giant battle.
I'm still waiting for a proper battle royale anime. I don't understand why.
That'd be nice.
I don't understand what we're waiting for.
Yeah.
The manga is well known. People like it. It would be hideously violent if they did it true to the manga. It would be absolutely savage. I don't know why they haven't done this yet. Maybe it's too much to show. Maybe they feel like they can't, but they have a movie of it.
I also thought it was really strange that like 3 episodes to the end they decided to do an entire episode to Hitomi's past.
I actually
like just to justify a random power up.
It was weird, but I liked the backstory.
I don't understand it though. I feel like I do not understand how she's a purebred. Like she was just born with this animal DNA instead of like not having sliced. I don't understand.
You're trying to make sense of a show that is nonsense.
I know.
I mean, it really is. But like I thought the fact that guy like wouldn't give up on the little girl. Like he kept trying to feed her and give her clothes, and she would destroy the clothes, and then she'd bite him and run away, and and he wouldn't give up on her. And eventually, like he closed the gap between them, and it was cute. I mean, it makes no sense, but like it was still cute. You know what I mean?
It was all just to justify her getting like this Super Saiyan power up at the end.
It might have been to justify what Shido told her to do at the end of the show, at the end of the anime, the very end.
Yeah, that one also bothered me because at first I was like, and this was until I read that the manga is still going on. So now I'm like, okay, I get it that they're probably gonna have a second season if they do this. Like, if this one did well enough,
they probably will.
So I get that there's probably more, but at the time I was like, the ending I felt like negated the entire reason why Nomoto was in the tournament. I was like, I thought it was to protect him. I was confused, but
they will have a second season because
I'm sure it'll be explained.
It was cheaply made. So it didn't break. It didn't cost much for them to make this.
The animation wasn't great, exactly.
It wasn't good. No, it wasn't. I mean, they will be able to sell gangbusters of figures off of all the different animal characters.
For sure. Yeah.
I mean, and all of the like merchandise, they'll have like sexy. They'll probably have pornos of this. Like they'll have everything. And at the end of the show, they definitely opened it wide the hell open for a sequel. Which I probably
that moved quickly too.
Very quickly, and I probably won't watch a sequel of this.
No,
but I'll be honest, I had fun watching the fights. Like I know they weren't like well animated most of the time, and half the time they didn't make sense. But watching like the tiger get his arm ripped off by the pangolin was crazy. I was like, holy shit, that was so awesome.
But apparently they could just sew it back on and everything's fine.
Yeah, that's true. Like, yeah. I raised my eyebrows at that, but...
I mean, Tiger's too hot. You can't have him walking around with one arm.
Oh, gosh. So, who was your favorite anime boy butt from this anime?
Tiger.
Ah, okay.
Tiger was nice. I liked him.
Yeah, for me, it was probably... Hitomi was probably the best. Yeah. But it's close.
Hitomi was the best girl, yeah.
It's close between Hitomi... Except she's the most likely to kill you while you're sleeping after you make love to her. So I don't know if that's cool. Like I'll never be able to sleep because she'll just cut my throat while I'm sleeping. At least their bunny girl would never probably kill me. So maybe I go with the bunny girl. She's the safest bet. She's definitely as hot, would be satisfying, but I wouldn't die in my sleep. So there.
Yeah.
I'm changing my pick to the
bunny was definitely cute too. I liked her.
Cute. Yeah.
Yeah, I also like that she technically won.
Spoiler alert.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I thought that we were already in spoilers. I'm sorry.
Whatever, it's just Killing Bites. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
There's no one's going back to watch Killing Bites. And besides, you're not watching this to see who wins anyway. Even the fact that she won was a joke. So
yeah.
Nothing matters. So, what would you score
what
a show?
Bizarre show.
We don't need to
I
spend
have no idea.
any more time on this. What kind of a score would you give a show like this?
Oh man. It was very trashy. I don't think I found it as charming as some other ecchi shows though. Like I really liked Monster Musume, and I think it's because I didn't care enough about the characters. Because after a while, I was like, I don't know. Hitomi's catchphrase was getting on my nerves every time.
Hey, the one with the sharpest,
The sharper fangs.
fangs wins. That's what Killing Bites is.
That's what Killing Bites is.
That's right.
Like,
God damn it!
Every single time.
And then at the end, someone else said it.
And at the end, someone else said it. I was like, oh god,
it's back.
Stop. The animation wasn't great, some jarring CGI, but I thought the character designs were fun, and yeah, some of the action was decent. If you really like ecchi and action shows, maybe give it a shot. Oh god, I have no idea what to score this though.
The crowd that likes Ikki Tousen would love this.
Yeah.
I'll
let you give your score first, what I think.
Yeah, so see, it's not really fair to score Killing Bites. Like, we used to score hentai on a hentai scale, because it's like, obviously, hentai are never going to get a good score when you put them next to friggin' Grave of the Fireflies and all that. So, this is kind of the same thing, in a way, because, well, God, I wish it was a hentai. I would do anything. Like, it definitely just one small step, and this would have been as much of a hentai as Kite or Mezzo or one of those. It's trash though. Like, I don't know. I could probably have given it a 2.5, but the fact that it didn't really have any nudity except for that one scene with the porcupine girl, I'll probably give it. Even though I didn't hate watching it, I was not bored. You know, so yeah. By that measuring stick, I'd probably give it a 4. But I will give this anime 2 severed. What the hell? Two animal girls going to town on each other out of 5, which is about what happened in that scene. It was about 2 out of 5 of them.
Yeah, about a 2 is exactly what I was thinking, but I wanted to see what you gave it first.
Yeah,
because I didn't want to feel bad.
I think a 2 is appropriate.
Yeah, I was thinking 2.5 at first because I was like, it was kind of fun at the beginning.
Do you want to go 2.5?
It's trash.
Do you want to go 2.5?
No, I'm gonna go 2.
Okay.
2 pangolins rolling around and tiger batting them.
Okay. Oh my god. Yeah, it was it was fun, but I mean it's trash. So.
Yeah, it was.
Whatever. There's usually a trash show every season, so.
But there are a lot of times where I was laughing at how absurd it was.
Yeah. All right, shall we move on to our mailbags?
Let's do it.
It's time for an almighty anime mailbag. Anime.
Mailbag. If you want to leave a mailbag on the website, AAAPodcast.com, there's a mailbag button on the top. It'll let you submit a mailbag. You can ask anything you want. You know, what kind of animal girls we like. Mandy's favorite anime boy butts. Enzo's favorite pizza toppings. You know, Kazuo's... What is Kazuo like?
What does Kazuo like?
Yeah, what does he like?
He likes bad puns.
Bad puns. Give me some bad puns yeah.
He likes Pokemon.
You could say, Kazuo, I want you to invent a bad pun for me right now. He would do it. Okay. So mailbag number 1 is from Icy Rose. I'll read this one since she read that long review. Hi, AAA hosts. With the new Legend of the Galactic Heroes remake airing in the spring season and it being a lot of people's introduction to an old classic, I pose the question. Do you think remakes are more effective at getting more people to talk about a classic series such as Legend of the Galactic Heroes rather than attempting to promote going back and watching the original? Would you prefer to see more old classics get a modern reimagining in this manner to attract a new audience and discussion, or think that there's little point if the original was already so good? Well,
well, I think that I don't know. I think they can attract new audiences to older classics. I actually have seen a lot of people on our Discord saying, man, I really like this season of Legend of the Galactic Heroes. I'm going to go back and watch it. And they did. They started up a watch party to watch the entire, they call it an OVA. I think it's a lot longer than what an OVA is, but
I think an OVA is.
I can watch the whole thing.
I think an OVA is just anything that didn't have a TV run.
Gotcha. Okay.
For me, like, I don't think you have a choice. Like, you're never gonna get anime fans of today to go back and watch something that's 20 years old. They just won't do it, especially when it's 100 episodes, 100 or more, right? Like, you're just. I mean, I feel like a lot of our anime fans, like, that listen to this podcast, have watched shows like Monster and stuff because I've just pounded it into them for years. But, like, the average anime fan that isn't getting assaulted by podcaster opinions just isn't really all that likely to go back and look up something so old. So, yeah, I think that this is probably the only way you're going to get people to watch an old show like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't really have any other choice. And yeah, I would be happy to have more modern reimaginings, like redo Future Boy Conan and redo Vision of Escaflowne, like whatever, like redo them. Fine, I'll watch them.
That'd be cool.
I'd rather have like new cool stuff than just remaking shows that are already basically perfect to begin with. But I'd watch it.
Yeah, so would I. I'd watch remakes. Sometimes it's kind of cool to see characters that you grew up loving redrawn like to modern style. I don't know. You want me to do the next one?
Of course.
This one is by Repent in Reprise. Hello, AAA crew. There tends to be much debate on whether you should watch a show based on its chronological order. Excuse me. Something stuck in my throat. Chronological order or broadcast order. The former argues that this is best to make logical sense of the show, while the latter argues that this is the creators or producers' viewing intent and should thus be watched as such as to understand the intent. One example is Star Wars. Is it best to watch Anakin Skywalker fantastically turn into Darth Vader, or is it best to have already known that what he became and experiences past? Have you had any show, movie, or the like that you wish you had seen chronological order?
So, my answer is really short. Like, I don't really think I'm generally aware of the correct order of a show, period. Like, for example, I watched Haruhi Suzumiya, and
that's a good example.
I did not know that it was out of order or that there was a correct order or whatever. I just watched it. I don't really worry about it. So, yeah, I've never heard of this debate, actually, to be honest. So, it's not something
I see it pop up every now and then.
It's not something I think of or I'm generally aware of.
I think Haruhi is the one that I see this debate pop up the most. For me, one that I thought of was the Monogatari series. The first episode of Bakemonogatari is actually after the first book of Kizu Monogatari, and they just kind of show glimpses of what happened during it. And Bakemono was my introduction to the entire series, so I was kind of confused by it. But yeah, when they adapted Kizu Monogatari into a trilogy of movies later on, I think I still would have preferred watching those first, just so I understood what was going on. I still enjoyed it, but after I had to go back and look, I was like, oh, this is based on a book. So, yeah, I think I would have preferred watching the movie, though, first.
Okay. Wow, it's really raining hard now. That won't keep me from my ramen, though. Next mailbag is from Lohenger, who writes, Hello, AAA. Love the content you guys provide, and it makes my daily commute so much better. You're welcome. I know a lot of you have tough commutes, so we're happy to help. By the time this mailbag is read, I will be 65 years old. Just kidding. Darling in the Franxx and Legend of the Galactic Heroes remake should be over. Wrong. It's not over yet. It's got like an episode left, so there. Okay?
It does.
Personally, I rate the host's tastes like this. Oh my god. Mitsugi, then Chiaki, then Mandy, then Enzo, or then Kazuo, then Enzo. So poor Enzo was last. But I was first.
Oh.
I was first, so that's all that matters. The question is, but there's no rationale behind that. So,
yeah.
What shows each host regrets more passing/failing? In my opinion, Kimiko passes bad shows once in a while. I'm a little salty over Kazuo failing Darling in the Franxx. Bonus question: after watching Legend of the Galactic Heroes remake, do you guys consider going back to watch the original? I can answer this question immediately. I regret failing Guruzeni
I was gonna say
tremendously. No one likes that show. It's not about pretty boys playing sports. It's not even about like the action of sports. It's about like professional athletes' careers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And about like the intricacies of like trading players or the minor leagues and the major leagues. But that show is charming as hell, and I'm enjoying Good as Any a hell of a lot more than Megalobox, which by the way may not even give you the fight you wanted. We'll find out. We'll find out this week. So I really regret failing that. I also regret failing. I regret that we failed Major. I know that it's going to be long, but the first 10 episodes of Major Second have been really incredible. Like really, really good. Especially if you watch the first Major. Major Second will literally have you crying and will have you falling in love with it. And so that show also is just tremendous. But it'll probably be 200 episodes, so whatever.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
I'm going to answer the last part real quick. Yes, I am going to watch the Legend of the Galactic Heroes season for the podcast, and then I will most likely go back and watch the original after that. That's my plan.
Same, actually. I'm waiting to finish this one. I'm just waiting for some time because that's going to be a long watch. I said that I haven't really been here long enough. Spring was my first season, and I've been waiting like to watch the rest of. My only one that I passed was Hisone, and I'm waiting to watch the rest of it until we do to the week that we do our review, because that way I just won't forget it. But there's a possibility I might regret passing it, because I've heard a lot of people saying the beginning was really good, then it turned out being really disappointing. So we'll see. But
I'm hearing
the ones that oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Finish up.
I was gonna say, out of the ones that I failed, I don't really regret failing any of them, except, I mean, I did hate failing Rakuhoro because I absolutely love it a ton, but I also think it'd be a really hard show to have done a review on. So, I mean, that one, I think I got my point across during our impressions that I really enjoyed it, but it was just going to be hard to pass it over some of the other stuff. I do regret not putting Hinamatsuri higher up on my list. That one.
Right.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed it.
We narrowly missed that one.
Yeah.
I've just heard bad things about the ending of Wotakoi. Like, it didn't do what people wanted, is all I've heard. I haven't watched any of that, but I thought that's where you were going, actually.
No. That was Enzo past Wotakoi. I read the manga of it. I mean, it's pretty much exactly like the manga, so there's more after it. I don't know.
All right, guys. Well, we have reached the end. We'll probably start doing impressions in about a month, I would say, because the new season's not even going to, maybe a little more than a month, because the new season's going to start around, like the first week of October, or for the first week of July?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So by the time you listen to this episode, it'll be literally just a couple of days before the season starts. So that's why we did this now. And so we're going to be having our impressions coming up, and then we'll be starting to review the shows from the spring season, which there's so many good ones.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So again, if you want to get our extra content, subscribe to the podcast. You can help us out a lot, help us pay for tons of stuff that we're doing right now at AAAPodcast.com/join, where you can get our Hobby Addicts, where we just talked about E3, and our hentai episodes, where we're going to be playing a Tinder game anime edition. What would you swipe left or right to from anime, and why? So that'll be pretty interesting, and we're going to do that in a minute. And of course, the after parties. So check us out, and you'll be able to get all that content. And please join the Discord, and you can come say hi to us and join Mandy's watch parties and manga book clubs, and it'll be
clubs.
You'll have a lot of fun. So, all right.
Yep.
Thank you so much for listening. I love each and every one of you. I hope that you have a wonderful work week, and we'll see you next week.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.